Hello, friends. This is an important message that we have for you. It's an update about in-person services in our sanctuary, because some of you are asking after the most recent communication from the governor. We're sending this both in video form and in print so that you can access whichever way is most useful for you. Because the governor recently lifted additional COVID-19 restrictions in Maryland, a few of you have wondered when we might resume in-person worship in our sanctuary. Although all of us desire to get back to a pre-COVID-19 environment, communities regularly report outbreaks and hotspots as they try to do so. You may remember that back in March, LLUMC gathered a task force that we have called the Virus Awareness Team, VAT, to guide our congregation's response to this pandemic. The team consists of medical professionals, church leaders, and staff. For the first month or so, the team met twice each week before settling on a weekly meeting schedule later in the spring, a schedule that is still ongoing. Part of the team's work has been to develop the processes needed to safely resume in-person inside worship. The processes investigated have included restricted traffic flow, limited seating to maintain social distance, a contact tracing system, and special cleaning procedures, among others. As we have talked through best practices at every stage of this pandemic with an eye to returning to in-person worship as soon as possible, we have learned new information and found new concerns to address. Recently, the team began to think in terms of setting a not before date. Setting such a date lets us concentrate on doing what we can within our current framework rather than constantly working on one contingency plan after another for something that we just can't do yet. The Church Council has agreed with the VAT's recommendation that we will not resume in-person worship inside our sanctuary until at least January of 2021. The Virus Awareness Team will continue to review all information on a weekly basis to gauge our abilities to hold outdoor services as well as to determine appropriate actions in the coming year. Church services are on every list of highest risk activities. As much as we'd all love to gather in person, we must consider the health and well-being of our congregation and the guests in our facility. Our concern is only heightened with the knowledge that flu season is just around the corner. As people of faith and within our Methodist faith tradition, we have some resources at our disposal. Please consider this teaching of Jesus as well as the 3 general rules for Methodists offered by John Wesley many years ago. From Luke 10. Just then a lawyer stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he said, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus said to him, "What is written in the law? What do you read there?" And the man answered, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." And Jesus said to him, "You have given the right answer. Do this, and you will live." A primary way that we love God is, and show our love for God, is worship. But Jesus didn't say that we have to worship in a sanctuary. He just said that we have to engage our whole selves in worship. Many of us have been doing just that as our homes have become sanctuaries. The second part of the teaching is about loving neighbors, and the most loving thing we can do for our neighbors at this time is to keep our distance, cover our faces, wash our hands, and avoid any kind of crowd. The other guidance is from John Wesley's general rules: do no harm, do good, and attend to all the ordinances of God. Our reasonable caution in gathering for in-person worship is a direct response to this guidance. We do not wish to do harm by putting anyone's health at risk. We are doing good by reaching out to serve our neighbors in many ways. We are attending to our spiritual needs, but providing worship and sacrament in the ways that make most sense in the current reality. Our staff and lay volunteers are working hard to provide a meaningful worship experience for all of us on Sundays through our live stream services. We're also gathering outside and in person on Sunday evenings for an informal time of worship, prayer, and communion. We invite all to participate in that service. We believe that you can do so safely, either by remaining in your car and using your radio to access sound, or by bringing your lawn chair and sitting in the area designated. We will continue to do this as long as the weather allows. We want you to know that the building has not been idle. During this period, we have taken advantage of this time to complete modifications such as the renovations required for the office move and the installation of a new fire alarm system for the older part of our building. We're also reconfiguring the sanctuary so that we can continue our live stream services even after we are conducting in-person services in the sanctuary. We have seen such an interest in our online ministry that it would be not right to discontinue it after this is over. In addition, we're working on ways to allow small group activities, both inside and outside the building, since they can be more easily managed. For more information, please contact our church office for details and keep an eye on communications from our office. During this time, our great room is also being used by Hilltop for a new kindergarten program that they have instituted to meet the needs of their families during COVID-19. Thank you, LLUMC, for being such a faithful community of Jesus followers through this very difficult time. It's certainly not over yet, but we can get through this together and continue to bless others along the way. Thank you.